Shannon, you're on my channel. Oh my, and today I'm going to do a simple candy that I make at Christmas time, and it is a marshmallow nut cluster. I just call them nut clusters because I put peanuts in them with the little miniature marshmallows. And it's probably the simplest thing that you can make that's homemade. And you're going to get peanuts, your mini marshmallows, and you're going to get your almond bark. You can do chocolate or you can do white chocolate. It's your preference. I personally do the dark or just chocolate for mine. Then also what you're going to do, I don't personally like melting my chocolate in the microwave. That's just my thing. So what I do is I call it a bath. And let me put the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the bath that I'm talking about. That's just a sticker that I could never get off, y'all. So my pots are clean. So this is a larger stock pot. Then I've got a smaller one that I sit inside. And if you look, there's water in there. And so I sit that in there. And I actually like this, how I've got it this year, because the handles on here will keep it from really tilting and wobbling all over. So I was satisfied with that. But what I'm going to do is I will break my chocolate bark up and put it inside the pot. And then I turn my pot on, depending on how fast you want your water to warm up or whatever. And this here I'll put mine probably on medium heat. And this here will allow the chocolate to melt slowly where I can keep an eye on it and my chocolate won't separate. So let's get it in. So there it is. When I break it up, like that one didn't break all the way, but normally what I do is before I even open the package, I will hit it on the edge of the counter. And I just will put it in there. And again, I'm the type of person, I only do one batch at a time. You can double it, but I don't do it. So I'm going to turn my burner on about probably 4.5. I've got an electric stove, so they go by numbers on this. So I'm going to do it at 4.5. Excuse me. And then I always have my handy dandy wooden spoons. And I'm just going to let it do its thing. It's going to take a little bit because I didn't warm it beforehand. But you guys got an idea. That's what it looks like now. So let's let this do its thing. And I will be back. You can see, even though I got it on 4.5, it's warming up nicely. Because you can see like right there, the chocolate is starting to slowly melt. And that is exactly what we're wanting. So we want this to all melt down to where it's creamy. And then we'll mix the nuts in first. And then that'll help cool it down a little bit so that our marshmallows won't necessarily melt. We don't want them to melt. We want them to kind of stay, into a marshmallow. But you got to get the temperature just kind of right. And sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes it's more like a swirl. But whatever. They still turn out really good. You can see now it's starting to melt even more. It's very time consuming. But one good thing about this is that you can walk away from it and come back to it. So it's very simple. Okay, it is really starting to melt down. If you can see that there. And I wish I had my little pot, you guys, but that's okay. The big one will work. But if you can see, all right there, it's a melting. Still got a little ways to go, but just an update. It's a melting.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. What?
I'm not gonna get sick.
You will if you're walking.
Okay, you guys, it is all melted up. So now it's ready to add my nuts. Okay, when adding, I don't measure it out. I just kind of eyeball it. And I guess I used about half of that container. And we're just going to mix it all up. Just like so. And see if you can see how it's getting it coated. And I just want to make sure all the nuts are covered with the chocolate. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner off. Hold on one second. Let me remove the pot. And on the marshmallows, it's the same thing. I don't ever measure them out. I'm just going to put them in there. And I did remove it from the hot water and from the burner because I do not want it to melt my marshmallows. And then I'm just going to coat them all. I'll be right back. I'm all coated. Then I'm going to come over here. And I've already got my cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. And it's sprayed. Excuse me. Now that I have my nut clusters on the parchment paper, I'm just going to get my wooden spoon and I'm going to fan it out. And then right there, we're going to let it dry, and I will be back as soon as it's dry. Show you my next step. Okay, so she is ready, and all you do when it is dried is you just break it in different pieces. Just like so. And there they are. Yummy. It's all this stuff. This is what we do for the holidays. Make our nut cluster. Very good. So until next video, y'all take care, have fun, and God bless. Bye.